Hiya everybody! Yes, it's me with another vinyl Wodge at last. Um, Now this is a batch of records. Maybe they're not the most exciting in the world. For some reason in where I live, in Exeter, in the UK, it seems that the summer is an absolute vinyl drought goes on. I don't know whether it's because we're such a university town that all the charity shops save up a lot of their stuff over the summer, ready for the students coming back. Um, so it just seems that there's a whole lack of things put out, and all you're left with is a lot of fairly boring stuff. Um, not not massively exciting, um, but it's still stuff that I'd pick up for a quid. And have fun listening to. So here we go. Right, so we've got, what do we got? What did I pick up? Right, first thing I picked up was this one. So the best of Carly Simon. Um, yeah, I quite like it, the odd Carly Simon track. I mean, I picked this up really for You're So Vain, which I don't have absolutely anywhere, and I really like that song. But the other songs are good. I mean, things like Mockingbird I quite like. Um, I think that's the way I've always heard it should be. It's a decent enough track. So it's a nice pickup. Yeah, it's a greatest hits, but it's just a shame that this doesn't have her other song, I Know Why, which I really like. I really like that song. But that was a good pickup anyway. Right, so there's that one. What am I going to go with next? I'll go with this one. Yeah. Managed to pick this up for 50p, actually, which is really good news. This is Shudder to Think. Now, they were, oh God, where were they from? I can't remember where they were from. But they were a 90s. Yeah, this was released in 94. This is a 12-inch, the Hit Liquor EP. They were a sort of, not a full-blown punk, but kind of like punk with sharp edges, I would say. And I always meant to listen to them. I'd always heard of Shudder to Think, and I thought, I saw this, I thought, right, I'm having that. I mean, originally this was marked up at £6. And then, I don't know, the shop where I got it from, they would just get out a load of, just trying to get rid of a load of vinyl, so it was 2 for £1, so it's 50p in the end. So that was a good buy. Really enjoyed listening to this. Really like this. Really good listen. Right, next up, I also picked up this. So this is a band called The Truth. Now they were a British band, mid-80s band, best known for having members of, now let me get this right, 9 Below Zero, I think. 9 Below Zero? Anyway, the main man of the band is Dennis Greaves, who is that chap there, and I'm pretty sure it was 9 Below Zero that they were all in. Now this is a sort of new mod record, I would put it at. It's actually pretty good. I really enjoyed it. I remember listening to, I'm sure I've heard The Truth before and thinking, it's okay. But actually, I really enjoyed this. It's kind of power popish mod, mod influenced. I mean, some of it is so Style Council it hurts, but it's actually quite good. So you can see, I mean, they look like, I don't know, they sort of look fairly stylish there, to be honest. They're sort of a bunch of chancers, to be honest, but it's actually a really good record. And I was amazed that I actually came across this in such good condition. It's on IRS. I'm really glad I picked that up. This next compilation I thought it was a real find. I really enjoyed listening to this. This is called, excuse me, Angels in the Architecture. And if you, I don't know if you can see who's on it. It's got all the main artists there. But it's a sampler of the EG, the Editions EG label. Now EG, I think, were the label. Didn't they release some Roxy stuff? I'm sure Roxy were on EG. but Editions EG was kind of the more arty end of it. So you've got, I mean, it's a phenomenal artist list on here. You've got Harold Budd, Eno, Roger Eno, Bill Bruford with Patrick Moraz, and Joachim Rodelius, John Hassel with Brian Eno, which is a phenomenal track. I listened to the rest of the album that came off. Michael Brook, who I don't know, Penguin Cafe and Orchestra, a couple of tracks. Phil Manzanera, Robert Fripp's on here with a couple of tracks, and Laragi, which is okay. But the track by John Hassel, Brian Eno, which is Delta Rain Dream, came from, what's it called? Fourth World Music Volume 1, and I can't remember the subtitle. But it is a phenomenal album. I'm looking for that on vinyl now. But there's some really, I mean, this is a fantastic compilation. Really, really brilliant. Very ambient. Very ambient. I mean, you know what you're getting with artists of that ilk. The Rodelius track is really gorgeous. Just a top-notch compilation. It's a little bit crackly at the start, but really nice. The rest of the record is really nice condition. And then you've got the inner sleeve with all the different records that they released on it. But absolutely ecstatic. I picked that up for 50p. And then I also got another greatest hits, which is Rose Royce's greatest hits. Now, one side of this I really liked. One side of this I thought was really boring. This greatest hits is split into two sides. You've got the romancing side, which I thought was fairly dire, to be honest. Love Don't Live Here Anymore is on here, which is fine, and Wishing on a Star, but the rest of it kind of merged into one. Check those outfits out. Look at those. But the other side, the dancing side, is really good. Car Wash, Put Your Money Where Your Mouth is great. Do Your Dance. I mean, yeah, I'm definitely going to be playing the dancing side again. That is great stuff. So that was great. And then, if you're not interested in the next artist, I picked up 6 albums by the same artist. And if you're not interested in that artist, or you don't want to hear me whitter on about this guy, then turn off now. But the artist was Chris Rea, and I managed to pick up his first 5 albums and a best of for £1 each. I'd always been intrigued by Chris Rea because I'd only ever heard a couple of tracks like Road to Hell or Stainsby Girls, maybe a couple of others, but I'd never really heard much of his early stuff, and probably know why now. But I got the first 5 albums. So he started off with Whatever Happened to Benny Santini. I guess the most interesting thing about this album is probably the title. Benny Santini was supposedly the name he was going to get saddled with by the record company, but he thought, no, I'm not getting saddled with that. So he decided to use Chris Rea as his name, which I think is his given name, isn't it? I think. Yeah, it's okay. It's MOR. It's kind of Radio 2 midnight music. It's okay. There's Fool If You Think It's Over, his version of that. But the rest of it is fairly blandly forgettable, to be honest. But it was worth getting just to see what it was like. Deltix is his second album. This is better. There's a lot more bluesy type stuff on here. Cenotaph Letter from Amsterdam's a good track. I'm sure Deltix, the title track, is a great track as well. Not great, but it's good. But it's kind of slightly less MOR version of the first album. His third album is called Tennis. See, I'm rattling through these. I don't think there's a lot of point spending a lot of time on these. Now, there's a brilliant track. The title track on here is actually really good. It's really creepy. It's about a guy watching this female tennis player on telly and just getting turned on. And it's almost post-punk in its approach, I guess. Um, I mean, that's Head and Shoulders the best song on the first few albums. Um, there's a couple of other good things. I can't remember which ones they are. Dancing Girls might have been it, since I don't see you anymore. I think it's okay. I quite like the cover there. That's quite a sort of a postmodern-ish cover. But yeah, Tennis. Check out Tennis. It's a really creepy song. That's the best one of the first three. Then you got Chris Rea. This is blandness personified. It, Guitar Street's a good track. It's a bit more rocky in places. Slightly more bluesy guitar as well. But again, nothing to write home about. And then the best album of the batch was this one, his fifth album, which is Water Sign. All the way through his early career, he seems to have been just in search of a sound, because he's just... He seems rudderless a lot of the time. He doesn't really know what will be popular. He doesn't really seem to know what he wanted to do. I mean, he's just kind of recording for no apparent reason, to be honest. But at least this sounds more like a contemporary 80s album. I think with Chris Rea, Live Aid happened at the right time. It ushered, along with ushering in all that, you know, I mean, I've gone on about how I think Live Aid was a watershed moment in 80s music for all the wrong reasons. Basically, it seemed at the point when all that early 80s pop experimentation just went out the window, and it seems like all the old buggers came in and ruled the roost for nearly the rest of the decade. You know, people like Clapton. I mean, Collins was already popular, but people like Sting just boring the arse out of everybody. Dire Straits, I'm sorry, people who like Dire Straits, I thought they were crap. Who else? I don't know. Just loads and loads of boring farts, to be honest. But it suited Chris Rea down to the ground, because he kind of did that. He turned into a guy who did that kind of slightly bluesy, sort of poppy stuff. I mean, this album isn't a bad album. It's easily the best of the first five. But it's still nothing to write home about. You know, it's blandly listenable. I mean, that's about the best I can offer up. And then I haven't actually listened all the way through to this, because I can only listen to side one, and I got really bored by it. The first couple of tracks are all right on it. This is New Lights Are Open for Old Windows compilation, I guess, from about 83 to 88, because there's hardly any tracks from the first five albums on here. I think the only one, what Fool If You Think It's Over is on here. Maybe a couple of other things, I'm not sure. But On the Beach is on here. Let's Dance. Stainsby Girls, which I've actually got on a 7-inch single. I really like that song. Driving Home for Christmas. I mean, you know you're up against it when you've got a Christmas song on your greatest hits. I'm sorry. I know Slade have got Merry Christmas Everybody on their greatest hits, but at least they put it last, so you can turn it off if you listen to it in July. Yeah, I'm sorry. Not a spectacular batch of records by any means. But, well, there's one or two really good things in there, but most of it is... I mean, the Chris Rea, I think I bought them because I was at a point, it was June, I think I got those, June or July, and I hadn't bought a record for a while, and I hadn't even seen anything I'd wanted to buy. And I saw these, and I thought, shall I? Oh, go on then. I think it cost me, £5 or £6 or whatever it was. So there we go. Not the wildest, most interesting batch of records, but there you go. That's what I bought. Now, coming up, some of the vinyl Wodges. I've got a stack. I bought more stuff recently, including some really good stuff. I've got a stack of about, 20 to 30 albums and about 20 to 30 CDs to put on my way through. I've been working steadily through them, and there are some crackers. real crackers. Absolutely corking, cracking albums. So keep tuned, because there will be some real nice stuff being shown soon, and not just Thrist or Dead End stuff. Right, okay, there you go, VC and anybody else who's watching. Thank you ever so much for tuning in. Recently I actually passed 200 subscribers. I don't know if I mentioned this already or not, but thank you so much to everybody who subscribes to this little channel, and who puts up with my endless wittering. Splendid, absolutely splendid. Thank you so much. And that's it for now. So see you all soon. Take care. See you, VC. Bye.